everyone.
Welcome to our podcast for the English to Final project.
I'm Salwa and this is my partner Sani. We are students from Information System of Universitas Bina Sarana Informatika.
This podcast is our final segment for English 2. Our goal is to practice speaking English while discussing topic correctly.
Today we will talk about two topics, the internet and email. We will also take turn being the host and being the guest speaker.
Alright, let's start with our first topic. Hi Salwa, today we're talking about the internet, something we use every day. How would you define it?
Hi Zani, simply put, the internet is a global network that connects computer and device, so people can share data and communicate instantly. It doesn't matter where you are, you're always just one click away from information.
Okay. Why is it so important for you today?
Because it supports almost everything: education, business, healthcare, even our social life. Without it, modern life would basically stop and a lot of daily tasks would suddenly become much harder.
How has it changed the way students learn?
It gives us access to endless resources. We can take online courses, watch tutorials, and join webinars, most of them for free. Even doing research for assignment is so much faster now compared to before.
What are the big benefits in your opinion?
It gives everyone easier access to information. Anyone can learn new skills or even start a small business online without needing a lot of money. It really opens up opportunities that weren't there before.
But surely there are downsides too.
Definitely. One big issue is the digital divide. Not everyone has equal access to good internet, especially in remote areas. Another is misinformation, since false information can spread even faster than facts.
That's a serious problem. Who should be responsible for controlling it?
I think it's a shared responsibility. Tech companies need better systems to detect false content, and government need clear regulation without limiting freedom of speech. Users also need to think critically before sharing anything.
What about internet security?
Um,
How critical is that?
Very critical. As more of our life move online, cybercrime like hacking and phishing keep growing. Using strong password and being careful with personal data isn't optional anymore. It's a necessity.
Do you think people your age take seriously enough?
Honestly, not always. A lot of us focus on convenience and forget the risk. That's why digital literacy should really be taught more, even from an early age, so people know how to use the internet responsibly.
Speaking of responsibility, what do you think about social media specifically? Is it part of this discussion too?
Definitely. Social media runs entirely on the internet, and it has its own set of issues like comparison culture and addiction. But it also helps people stay connected and build communities. So it's really mixed bag.
That's a fair point. Do you think the internet will keep changing this fast in the future?
Mm, I believe so. With things like artificial intelligence and faster connection coming up, the internet will only become more integrated into our daily lives. It's exciting, but it also means we need to keep adapting.
Any final advice for internet users?
Just be a smart user. Think before you share. Check facts before you believe them. And always protect your personal data online.
Good point. So the internet has changed our lives for the better, but it also brings real challenges we still need to solve together. Thanks, Sawa.
Thank you too. Was a great discussion.
That was a great discussion about the internet. Now let's talk about something more specific that we use every day as children.
Right. For the next topic, we will switch roles. I'll be the host and Sunny will be the guest speaker.
I'm ready. Let's talk about email.
Hi Sunny, even with apps like WhatsApp, why is email still important today?
Hey Sawa, email is still the standard for formal communication. Companies and university rely on it because it's structured, traceable, and support attachment like document or reports.
What kind of situation do we usually need email for?
Mostly formal ones, applying for jobs, submitting assignment, or connecting lecturer and institution. It's just more professional than a casual chat app, and it feels more official.
What are the biggest advantages compared to other tools?
First, it lets a written record with timestamp, which is important for accountability. Second, you don't need the other person online at the same time to send a message. They can read it whenever they're ready.
Are there any downsides?
Yes, email overload is common. People get hundreds of emails daily, so important ones can get missed. Seeing is also a big risk. Scammers disguise fake links as real email to steal person data.
That sounds dangerous. How can we protect ourselves from phishing?
Always check the sender's address careful, avoid clicking suspicious link, and never share password or personal data through email, even if the message looks official.
Have you ever received a special email yourself?
Actually, yes. I once got an email saying I won a prize I never signed up for. It looked confusing at first, but I noticed the sender's address was stranger, so I just deleted it right away.
Good thing you noticed. Besides phishing, is there anything else people should watch out for?
Spam emails mainly. They're usually harmless, but they clutter your inbox and can hide important messages. It's a good habit to clean up your inbox regularly and unsubscribe from things you don't need.
Good advice. How can we write emails more effectively?
Use a clear subject line, keep the message short and organized, and state your purpose early. Staying polite and profitable before sending also makes a big difference.
Do you think email will still be relevant from 10 years from now?
I think so, especially for formal and legal matters. Chat apps are good for quick message, but email still has that official structure feeling that business and institution trust.
That makes sense. Is there a difference between how we should write to a lecturer versus a friend?
Finally, with a lecturer, we need formal language, a clear subject, and proper greetings. With friends, we can be more casual, but for anything official, it's always safer to keep it formal and respectful.
Any last tips for students, especially?
Use a proper email address, not something too casual, and always include a polite greeting and closing when greeting to lecturer or staff. First impression matter even in an email.
Great advice. So, email is still essential, especially in formal settings, as long as we stay aware of the risks and write it properly. Thanks.
Thank you. This was a fun discussion.
That wraps up today's episode. We talk about the internet and email and how both come with benefit and challenge.
Thanks for listening, everyone. See you in the next episode.
Goodbye.